Is it better than the first one? Yeah. Is it a good story in general? Hello guys, and welcome to Cine Club, the show where we watch the movies that came out recently in the cinema and then we talk about if we like them or not. So we decided to see this week the movie no one will shut up about, and that one is Catching Fire, the second movie of The Hunger Games. Now, I've never really been a big fan of The Hunger Games per se. I saw the first movie and I thought it was pretty weak. Please don't kill me. But I decided to give this one a try since everybody's talking about it, and because the actual premise of the movie seemed a lot more interesting than the first one. The first to me was just about these kids kind of killing themselves, and the movie being kind of a rip-off of exactly what Battle Royale is. But, you know, the second one really appealed to me because it was more about the uprising and what happened after Katniss had defied the Capitol. So as you know I must have done, I read the book and I went to see the movie. So after winning the Hunger Games, Katniss has become a sort of beacon of hope and resistance to the people. So this time around, while Katniss and Peeta are busy trying to entertain people with the Victor's Tour and make them see how much they are in love, the Capitol is actually planning a way to destroy Katniss, not necessarily killing her, but destroying her as a symbol and taking away all hope from all the districts. The movie this time around was directed by Francis Lawrence, and you still got the same crew as last time. Jennifer Lawrence playing Katniss, Liam Hemsworth as Gale, Woody Harrelson as Haymitch, Josh Hutcherson as Peeta. You also got new characters played by Philip Seymour, who is now going to be the guy who controls the Hunger Games. And then you got Finnick, a very important character in the story, who's played by Sam Claflin. Claflin? Who cares? He's a total beefcake. It has been expected that this movie was going to be way better than the first one. It has a much better budget, it has a better director, new actors. It all led to the point that it was definitely going to be better, and it was definitely better. I definitely enjoyed it way more than the first one. It's about how a small act of defiance can definitely start the uprising of a nation against the few who are controlling it. That being said, I did feel a little bit misled by the whole concept of destroying the symbol that is Katniss. The Capitol is something to be feared. It's a symbol of oppression, of not really knowing, of always being watched. And you definitely feel that a lot more in the book because it's from Katniss' perspective, so you don't see what they're planning or plotting against her. And I have to say, the plans that they come up with weren't that fantastic. First plan is that she marries Peeta and they live happily ever after, so everybody thinks that she is now one of the Capitol, one of the higher society. That didn't work. Next is coming into the district with a lot more security, a lot more oppression, maybe whipping somebody here and there. Nothing they're not exactly used to. They're still being very unfair and horrible to them. Then they manipulated her into wearing the wedding dress she was going to wear to marry Peeta, and making them see that she is definitely one of them and that she has won the Hunger Games and has no plans of being, you know, the hero of the district. Still, it's very entertaining. It still keeps you going. It keeps you interested throughout the whole movie. But I still feel like there are many things that I'm not involved enough, or they haven't explained enough for me to care about. For example, I still don't see a great development in the whole romance aspect of the movie. You still have Gale and you still have Peeta, and you don't really know whom she will choose or if it even matters. It just seems very on the side. This time around it should have been developed a lot more. We should have gotten a lot more insight into how she felt about either of them, and not just a few dialogues here and there that might let you think she's gonna pick either Gale or Peeta. That being said, it's a very fun movie, and I think it was very well done in every aspect. Cinematography, the director was great, the actors are fantastic, the soundtrack even, I really enjoyed all of it. My biggest problem with Hunger Games, it doesn't have to do with any of those facts. It's more about the feeling that it provokes, which is none. The key scenes in which you're supposed to feel something and maybe understand the characters and really root for them, it kind of just ends up being a very lukewarm feeling. One of those moments I feel that was key and I didn't really feel much was the moment where Gale is being whipped. And it's a very popular scene in the trailers, and you know, Katniss comes in to intervene and stop them, and it's very intense, and the guy might kill her or whip her as well. And you should feel a tension, you should feel a problem, you should feel her desperation because she doesn't want Gale hurt, and that's the moment where her love for Gale really shows. And I don't feel it, and it's not the acting, it's not the actors, it's not the director, they're all very good. It's just the story in itself doesn't narrate it well enough for me to care about it. There's just a sense of detachment from all the important scenes. It just feels so far away. It feels so perfectly scripted, so by the book, that it doesn't make me feel anything. Sometimes I think it's because I've read the book and I know exactly what's going to happen, but that's not the case with other books I've read and then I've seen the movies. I still get excited for that scene. I still feel something. In this case, I know who should win. I know who should be the leader or who should be my favorite character, but it doesn't feel that way. In the end, I didn't feel like it was engaging as it should have been, but I don't think it's the fault of any of the people involved in making the movie. I think it just comes down to the source, which is the book. Now we go to my favorite part of this video, which is the 3 likes and dislikes of the movie. The 3 things that I really liked, I might go very superficial here, but Jennifer Lawrence in that swimsuit or whatever that was something to truly pause and look for quite a while. I think she looked good. I think she looked better than ever, actually. The Hunger Games this time around, because there have to be Hunger Games, otherwise it's not the Hunger Games trilogy, were definitely a lot more interesting than the first one. They really took it up a notch. The whole manipulation and creation of the people behind it was very interesting. And it didn't just feel like children trying to survive. It felt like there was much more at stake, and I really did enjoy that moment. The third thing I really liked about this movie was Haymitch. I think Haymitch, if I had to pick, is my favorite character, even though he's a complete drunk and almost useless in the book. And I think Woody Harrelson is fantastic. Now moving on to the 3 things I didn't like. I don't like that Peeta always has to be in trouble. It gets really annoying. I get that he is the purest of the characters and the best of them all in a way, and the one who could really eventually maybe lead the people towards rebellion and towards fighting against the Capitol. But the fact that he's so damn useless in everything he does is so annoying. There's a second thing I don't like, and I think I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this because it's about Jennifer Lawrence, and everybody apparently unanimously loves Jennifer Lawrence. And I do too. I think she's fantastic. I don't like sometimes their acting goes from completely calm and steady and just a very monotone voice to complete and utter hysterics. There doesn't seem to be a balance in the emotions in this movie. And I understand it's a very difficult situation. She's under a lot of stress. I understand why she freaks out and there's moments where she's calm. But sometimes they're so close together that it just kind of makes me step away from the movie and not get involved in the scene as it's happening. The third thing I don't like about this movie, and it was actually something I didn't like about the first movie, is that the games in themselves don't feel, or they don't portray them as horrible as they are. The killing is always very clean, there's not a lot of blood, and I feel like the whole point of the Hunger Games is to see the real nature of humanity. How far will you go when you are in trouble, when you want to survive? But I just don't feel like they ever get into that psychology of what the Hunger Games really is. I don't feel involved in that sense. I don't feel the tension. I don't feel the desperation. And even certain scenes in the book that describe when people die, quite gruesome and bloody, they kind of just gloss it over in this movie, and I don't like that. I would like to see a little bit more reality into what the Hunger Games would be. So in the end, I think the movie is really great to go watch it with some friends. If you're a fan, absolutely go see it. If you've only seen the movies, definitely go see it. It's a much better story. But it's still not my favorite trilogy, and it still hasn't won me over. But hey guys, that's just my opinion. That's just what I think. Please let me know what you thought of the movie. Tell me if you like it better than the first one. Also tell me which one is your favorite Hunger Games book and what are you expecting to happen in the third movie, which will be divided into 2 movies because, hey, no trilogy is a trilogy now. It's 4 movies all the time. If I were to rate the movie, I would probably give it a 7. The movie's actually solid. It's a really good movie. My biggest problem is with the story in itself. So definitely go watch it. I think it's one of those that you should go see. So that's it for this episode of Cine Club. I hope you have enjoyed yourself. I hope you don't hate me just yet because of my opinion of the Hunger Games. Please don't hate me. If you like this, go ahead and hit the like button or subscribe. I got a lot more coming up, and next week we will be watching About Time. So we will be watching that next week, and I hope you stay tuned, and I will see you on our next movie date. Bye-bye.